The date, December 18th, 2017, is significant because on that day, Pope Francis decreed that Father Patrick Peyton is now venerable, and that's the major hurdle on the way to sainthood. Of course, we would still need to have a miracle that is certified by the Congregation for the Cause, or the Dicastery for the Causes of Saints now, and in Rome, and also a second one after that, leading to canonization. So, but this is the major hurdle, and that was December the 18th, 2017. At that point, we realized we have to really get serious now about honoring Father Peyton and his legacy and the ways in which, through his ministry at Family Rosary in Albany and now here, and then his ministry in Hollywood at Family Theater Productions, that those two great works influenced people all around the globe, especially Catholics and other Christians, but other religions as well. So he's declared venerable in December of 2017. We decided the first thing was to create the Museum of Family Prayer. His whole ministry is summarized in 3 words: help families pray, especially through the rosary. And he did that using every device he could. Big, huge rosary rallies all around the world. Up to 28 million people heard him speak live in person. We think that record was his as the person who spoke live to more people than anybody else in human history, until Pope John Paul II came along. Now, he broke all the records, so he exceeded that. And second, in Hollywood, Father Peyton with Family Theater just did marvelous works using the availability of people in Hollywood who wanted to support his work to help families pray. The family that prays together stays together came right out of Hollywood. So he's decreed venerable, and the first step was to create this Museum of Family Prayer. We're right here in the museum at the Peyton Center in Easton, Massachusetts, as you said, Andrew, and want to just point to one interesting item under glass here. And this is a rosary that belonged to and was used by Father Edward Sorin, the priest who founded the University of Notre Dame in 1842. So this is his rosary, Father Sorin's rosary. It passed on to another priest and then to Father Cornelius Haggerty. Father Cornelius Haggerty is really important in Father Peyton's life, because Father Peyton, when he was at the lowest ebb of his life, he spent a year in bed, not even able to go to the bathroom by himself. And he was questioning the existence of God and the role of Mary and all of that. And Father Cornelius Haggerty came into his room and he said, "Patrick, you believe in God. Your parents gave you this great gift. Put that faith to work. And remember, Mary is alive. She will be as good to you as you believe she will be." So I won't go into all of that detail, but he was suffering from terminal tuberculosis. Father Haggerty came to his rosary, and he entrusted this rosary to Father Peyton. So this is going back to the founding of the University of Notre Dame, Father Peyton's alma mater. And then when Father Peyton was on his deathbed, he gave this rosary to Father David Farrell, who is still alive today. He's at Holy Cross House at Notre Dame. And he was the provincial of the Congregation of Holy Cross in the East. When I became the provincial, one of his successors, Father Farrell, gave this rosary to me. He explained its provenance, its history, and he said, "If you ever have a museum, please put this rosary in the museum." So I've put it here. I'm so glad that it's here under glass, and it's kind of a centerpiece in the museum, because the rosary is at the very center of the whole life and ministry of Father Peyton, his family, and all the work that he did all around the world.
It never fails, Father. Anytime
Great.
I'm with you, I learn something new. So thank you for that. And yes, I have to put a plug in for the museum. We are in the Museum of Family Prayer. As you can see, Father Peyton's desk over here from Albany. It's a wonderful place, and please visit us here in Northeastern Mass. It's a beautiful place, and we love to have visitors, and we have a constant flow of people. So please do join us.
Great. And it's a museum of family prayer. It's for families. And there's a place for children while the parents are getting a tour of, if they have little children, they'll be taken care of as well. And also you can find out how family prayer began with Adam and Eve back at the very beginning, and down through the Old Testament, the Hebrew Scriptures, the 150 Psalms, which before St. John Paul added the additional 5 mysteries of the Rosary, the luminous mysteries. There were 15 mysteries of the Rosary for many centuries, and that's because there were 150 Psalms, and the early Christians, following the Jews, Jesus in his life, he prayed those Psalms. The monks would be praying those, but the regular farmer and housewife, they didn't know. They couldn't read. They couldn't go off to the monastery. So instead of praying the Psalms, they started praying 150 prayers, Our Fathers, and Glory Bees, and especially the Hail Marys as time went on. So the Rosary is directly connected to the Old Testament and to the 150 Psalms, attributed to King David, but we know he had a lot of help writing those as well.
Wonderful.
So, yes.
So, Venerable Museum.
Mm-hmm.
What was next?
The next thing while we're here is as he was moving towards being beatified, and we ask you to pray for that. We recognized that we needed a real statue of Father Peyton that looked like him. So a lot of us who knew him, we could say, that's not the way he parted his hair. That's not how he had his hands, and so he always had a rosary in his mitt. So. We've got a larger than life but real authentic look-alike statue of him. It's under construction right now, yes. But it's when and that goes to the third item. So we have the Museum of Family Prayer. We have the film Pray. Did I mention that already?
No, and we want to get into that. Can we walk over towards the film side of the museum and show a little bit? Yeah, let's stop there.
Okay.